Welcome everybody to another video of Live Trading with Guillermo. So I have a very special video for you guys today. I have the CEO and co-founder of TruTrade joining me on this conversation this weekend. So Danny, I want to welcome you. Thank you for taking time on a weekend to join me. So I appreciate that.
Likewise. Thank you very much for having me and for your subscribers as well.
Awesome. I'll give you just a few seconds, Danny, if you want to just talk about yourself a little bit, what motivates you, what you love about your company, anything you'd like to chat about.
Sure. I've been in the investment world for about 23 years, and in 2017, just decided to move on. I've always traded for the past 14 years, and being a trader, we just saw a very large hole in the industry. Being a gentleman that tried to, trade and use indicators and learn all the ways that we were still learning today, it got to be extremely frustrating. Being that my partner now, Brian, really talented coder and trader as well, we got together and we built TruTrade to try to fill the void to what was not there and to help not only ourselves, but help others. We helped ourselves by innovating and building automation for us to be successful on our own. And as we started to make things more simplistic for ourselves, we decided to launch TruTrade. The hedge funds basically have most of the edge. And when you apply your funds or invest your funds with a hedge fund, they take the majority of the money, as we all make 8, 10, 12, 17% per year. They're making 3-5% per day. And that's just how it's been for the last, 30, 40, 50 years. It's just been the same. It's never been changed. So we, TruTrade, set out to change the industry and to change and level the playing field for the average trader, for the guy that just wants to make a little bit more money, maybe change his job, change his trajectory in life. You can do that with TruTrade automation.
Fantastic. No, that's awesome. Well, I'm gonna forewarn you, Danny. I'm gonna have some tough questions for you.
Sure.
But before I do that, though, I checked out your site. I know you're working with the foundation. I kind of wanted to start out with that, which is something pretty positive to start this conversation. Can you talk about who you're working with?
Well, yeah, absolutely. So one thing that was dear to my heart has always been the Navy SEAL Foundation. I'm from San Diego myself. And, being where we are in the world today, I would, or my partner wouldn't have the opportunity of making this type of money without the safety and security of our country. One of the things that, again, that's dear to my heart is the Special Forces Foundation and the Navy SEAL Foundation. We're not just a donor, but we're actually a partner of them as well. So a portion of every purchase of TruTrade software goes towards the Navy SEAL Foundation. It's either to the fallen or to the families of. It's just a great foundation. And actually, in the very near future here, we're going to be adding the Tunnel for Towers as well.
That's awesome. Well, it really means a lot. As a software owner of your products, it makes me feel that you're doing good thing for our Navy SEALs and our military community, and it makes me feel good that through the purchases that people are making, that in turn is helping.
We take that mindset with our traders as well. As a software company owner and as a trader, we really try to build software not just for ourselves to sell them, but we legitimately want our clients to be very effective. We want to try to put a mark in this industry, and we really try to do our best to adhere to what clients need. We're constantly innovating, not so much to be our bots to be more accurate and successful, but we also innovate to how clients perceive to use our bots. We're constantly innovating in that way. When we build systems that trade and make money daily, it's one thing to build them to be accurate, but it's another thing to build them to how clients perceive to use them. So we're constantly innovating in that way.
Fantastic. That's awesome. Well, to the viewers out there watching this video, when you go to TruTrade.io, you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, you'll see the Navy SEAL Foundation. You'll say you can click on it, and anybody can donate through that link. So if you're feeling generous, anybody can
Sure,
What did you share?
100%. You can go to the Navy SEAL Foundation website as well, where I think there's only, don't quote me on this, about 14 companies around the world. They only allowed 14, I believe, to be partners. It wasn't a quick decision by them. We had to be vetted, and again, it's just something that just know that when you do purchase it, some of it goes towards a very, very good cause. Like I said at the beginning of this interview, we're here for the good, not just to grow a massive company and fill our pockets. We're legitimately trying to build software, like you've done yourself, Guillermo. You've came a long way. You started with the AutoRipper Pro, and you've purchased, I believe about 4 automations to date. You're just one of our thousands of clients, ones that use it, that are extremely happy, and it makes me, as one of the owners, very happy that we are able to change lives and to change one's day-to-day monetary values, where you can make money. You can take the bot to whatever level that you would like to go. We have bots that start from the beginning all the way through the bot networks, which is our most advanced hedge fund performing products.
Fantastic. No, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm gonna start with the first question, Danny. I've received this question from several of my subscribers, and I think they would love to hear from you. But really, the question revolves around training and support.
Okay.
Can you talk about that? What do you have plans for that particular?
Sure. Listen, I think not most, if not all people nowadays, they're sick and tired of the non-transparency and people sidestepping these questions. So I wanted to, let's hit this head on. So as a company, as we grow, we're innovating. We're a smaller, large company, and we just have a little bit of growing pains. We can't just throw anybody in there for support, because, as a trader spending a large amount of money on product, you want to make sure that someone that's answering the support has the skill set to answer appropriately. As we've grown, that's by far one of our weaker links, and I'm very, very open to say that. We've been working on a new platform for about 8 months. We should be launching that, I believe, Sunday night, and either this evening or by tomorrow. It's a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 support. It's a multi-level support platform. You're going to get a large amount of information, whether it come from NinjaTrader, in regards to how to identify issues, whether it would be with the platform themselves. Most of the issues that clients have to do with almost the NinjaTrader support, meaning like loading the bot only takes a few minutes, but a lot of times clients transition from other platforms and then they transition to NinjaTrader and they misconstrue that as TruTrade software. And undoubtedly so, they get a little bit frustrated transitioning from one platform to the other. So we're bringing a lot of those videos and questions and answers inside of our new ecosystem. We're providing a lot more video support and a lot more questions and answer support, whether it be real time or whether it be done through video, case by case.
Oh, that sounds
We're
great.
we're going to be providing a ticketing option as well, where they're going to be getting a lot more faster response, a lot more in-depth response. And that's how we're going to just better our company moving forward. Part of owning a company, we always have to innovate, and we always have to provide better services, better products. Being part, especially in the trading industry, we always have to be innovating. We always have to do better. Can we do better? Of course we can. Can we do better next year? Of course we can. And that's the short answer. We're always trying to do better. Being in such a technical field, we have to do things carefully because we don't want to give the wrong information to our clients. We don't want to have clients seek out other clients through forums, and so to speak, because a lot of times those answers are going to be wrong. We're just increasing our reach by releasing this new ecosystem.
No, I'm glad you brought up that topic about getting information from other forums and such. And that kind of prompted me to really start this channel, because I was seeing a lot of misinformation out there, and I was like, that's not how it's working for me. So this is how it works, and I'm pretty, and you've seen my videos, Danny, but and other stuff as well, where I'm pretty transparent to say, boom, boom, this is how it runs. There's no magic here, other than magic that's happening in the background, right? That I don't know about, but it works great. The other question that I get a lot is people want to know prices of the automation, and I always defer back to you. But why don't you post your prices on your website?
Well, that's a really good question. And it goes right back to being transparent. It goes right back to us wanting the best for our clients. If we had a button on our site to pay, or if we start posting prices, clients will be looking at a product that they actually don't need to purchase. We have clients that are very experienced clients that don't need to spend X amount of dollars to achieve their goals. So therefore, they would be spending more money than they would need to. Then we have, beginner clients, or clients that are very well funded themselves, but they don't have a lot of experience. Those types of clients will need a little bit more higher end software to take them through, the rigors of the day-to-day trading. They need a little bit more functionality to help them protect them from themselves. So when we start quoting prices out there, it wouldn't be indicative of what they actually would need to purchase. That's why we take our time to talk to our clients, to discuss what they actually need, and then we provide that service on the goals that the client needs. It just goes to us caring about what the clients want to buy. If we didn't care, it would just be a nominal price. We sell it to everybody, and that's just not good for the clients. It's just not.
No, absolutely. And from for the viewers out there, from my personal experience, when I reached out to Danny, well, it's been over a year now. It's crazy. It was like April of last year when I started my journey.
Right.
And you asked me like, what kind of trading you looking to do, and then you said, this is all I'm willing to sell you. Like, this is it. And it was like,
Sure.
I was a beginner, right? Big time beginner.
Yes.
And it was a way to protect me, because someone else would have sold me the most expensive automation just to make money. But you were like, no, you're going to start here. And what was great about my experience is that I could come back to you, Danny, and be like, hey, Danny, I'm progressing in my trading. I want to enhance, I want to evolve. What do you have for my next level, right? And I think that's how I see it. And I think hopefully others do too, to say, hey, you can come in at a certain thing, but that's just your start where you're at.
Yeah, I think that's what makes us really unique. I mean, we already trade every day. We're a successful company. We're successful traders. We want to sell a system to a client for what they need. Like just yesterday, I had a higher end client send us, quite a few, a large amount of sum of money. He was a surgeon, only traded a little bit, and he wanted to trade a specific way, but wanted to start with one of our lesser products. And this was a 2 or 3 conversation sale. And I literally just talked him out of everything that was either less expensive or something that he did not need, because what you don't want to do is have a client that has a certain expectation, let them down as a company. You want to make sure that, hey, Dan, I want to click a button. I want to be able to make, $3,000-$4,000 a day. I have $200,000-$300,000, and this is what I want to achieve. And as a trader, I know what he needs. He doesn't know what he needs. So that's where we have to start having a little bit of reservation as a company, and say, look, sometimes no deal's a better deal. Sometimes we need to agree to disagree, or, hey, this is what you need. And if the trust factor isn't there, then, hey, just don't buy anything, because it's better that than to sell a client a product for X amount of money and then they're just not happy. And I'm not saying everybody's happy. But what I'm saying is by going about the sales process that way, it's made us a company to where we're very successful. We have amazing reviews. And we have a client base that's growing on a day-to-day basis, and we're going to stick to that process. Sometimes we don't get back to clients for 2 and 3 days because we're just so inundated with leads, but that's okay, because we want to make sure that we talk with everybody. When you call TruTrade, you're talking to guys that are very successful. We know how to trade, and we're going to tell you how it is. Sometimes, and this is a great segue into a few comments that we've had online. Sometimes we might come off a little bit of blunt or maybe a little bit rude. But here's the thing: if we come off a little bit blunt or a little bit rude, that's because we're being transparent, and that's because we're not trying to take your money. So if you take that as us being rude, well, that's okay, because at least we're not taking your money. And hopefully you can respect that more than use that as some sort of, dagger about us or throw a dagger at us, because we are trying to do the right thing. We are not just trying to take your money. That's what sets us apart here at TruTrade. We're always going to do the right thing. We try to do the right thing. We try to sell the right product to the right person. It's not a perfect world, but we do it, and we can look ourselves in the mirror. We do the best job that we can. It's a very tough industry. A lot of other companies should not be selling certain products. But it's just the world that we live in. But at least we can just do the right thing, and we can try to do the right thing. If you can't afford the software, then you should not be trading. That's just our mindset. We're not here to try to extract money. We're here to try to help you make money. So if you can't afford our software, you have to start asking yourself, hey, should I be trading? Should I be really trying to buy inferior product? And I'm not saying everyone's product out there is inferior. That's not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm saying is we only sell a certain level of product, and we don't go below that, because we want you to have a good experience. And if you can't afford 7, 8, 10, 20, 30,000, depending on the product that you buy, then ask yourself, you know what, maybe I should either save up, or maybe I shouldn't just buy something that's inferior. Maybe you're tired of spending 2,000 here, 3,000 here, $100 here, paying this for a form over here, and getting the same result. And that's what we're trying to turn the corner in the trading industry by producing quality product.
That's great advice, Danny. I think I could have used that advice when I started, to be honest with you, because I went through multiple systems and thousands of dollars out of my pocket and stuff that just never worked, right? And I was disappointed, and I almost gave up, and I'm glad I didn't. But before I go to the next, I had a question already lined up. But what I'm thinking about right now, though, there's uncertainty in the economy right now, right? With potential inflation and things like that. As a trader, can you make money even in a down market like this? What are your thoughts on that?
That's a great question. So if you've been trading for a long time, we all love the short. We all love the short. But I can tell you this, and this is just my personal thought process, to each his own, correct? But we're in a very volatile part of our time period, especially in this century. And yeah, you can expect things to start really declining here. But as a trader, that's very good news. For me, I just wouldn't carry positions overnight. Even my larger assets, or I don't run large long-term investments. That's just me personally. So when we go to scalp, or when we go to trade within intraday, that's why we build the bots that we do. We trade anywhere from 5 minutes to 45 minutes. Sometimes maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours, depending if we're using larger bar sizes within our bots. But as we start to become a little bit more unstable, as a country, with our currency, with our investments, housing is a big worry right now. Interest rates is a big worry. We have our credit card usage is way up. I believe 93% of the country right now has already starting to max out their credit cards. We have to start being careful on what we purchase. We have to start being careful of how we trade, or I probably shouldn't say this, or should we invest, or should we just be really careful? Again, as traders and seeing the volatility, we embrace volatility. I love seeing markets run up, run down. As a scalping trader myself, I love it, right? I love trading the NQ, the crude, gold, the indices. We like to see volatility. But just be careful how we trade. Maybe take smaller positions, maybe a shortener or daily goals, and we can get into that. Maybe every contract you trade, maybe trade to $200 per contract that you trade, and shorten our daily goal. Be a little bit more reserved with our trading. Just because you have automation, or just because you trade manually, doesn't mean that we don't have to change our day-to-day strategies.
No, that's great, Danny. Which really leads to my next question, right? Which was how do I become a consistent trader? And you just talked about some of those things.
Sure.
Managing your risk, holding, depending on.
Well, right. Which is kind of ironic, because as you move up in our software, that's what you're paying for, is our position management. It's managing risk. It's one thing to enter the market at the correct time, but it's another thing to manage our positions, and that's what we're really good at. When we build software, it's to protect ourselves, not to take extra risk or make a lot more money. It's to protect the money that we already made from the previous day. So when we're trading, we always want to keep that in mind. Just because you're trading automation doesn't mean just allow the automation to run. I get this question all the time. Automation's to automate your entries, automate your exits, and to automate your position management. That doesn't mean allow it to run. So when you start trading with one instrument in mind, you always want to keep the mindset on your daily goal. So if you're trading at 3 contracts or a 3 lot, your daily goal should be 600-700. And yes, of course, I see that you make a lot more money than that on average. But at the end of the day, we always want to keep the correct mindset. We always want to trade accordingly. If we're trading 3-4 contracts, your goal should be $200-$250 per contract, maybe 3 max. Of course, I'm being very conservative, but as a trader, we should be trading conservatively. We should not be pushing the envelope every single day. Some days you'll make a lot more than that, but again, if you are going to allow it to run or continue the trade, make sure that you run your stops accordingly, and never forget what our daily goal is. As you start trading more instruments, and as you start trading more bar sizes simultaneously, and as you start jumping up to our higher end software, you can start being a little bit more relaxed with your trading. But when you trade, whether you're trading one of our very expensive bots or the Auto Pro, if you're trading a single instrument, your mindset still stays the same. That's where a lot of people start really going wrong. Oh, wow, I have this bot, let it run. No, that just means if you're trading a single instrument, you're still trading with the single instrument mindset. If you're trading with multiple instruments, you're trading with the multiple instrument mindset. And this is where you start to see clients start, like yourself, start being really consistent, because you're just adhering to the basic rules that we trade, whether you're trading with automation or manually.
No, that's a great point. Some of the questions I would receive like that, right? Like, can I leave my automation on 24 hours a day? And I think that comes from maybe people that have come from the Forex side of the world, right? Where you can take a position and you can run it for 3 days and then you close it out, right? But as you mentioned, futures runs totally different. Holding overnight positions, brokers require higher margins, more, it's riskier. It's like it's a different mindset when you're trading futures using this particular automation versus something coming from the Forex world. It is different.
Yeah, I mean, above and beyond the Forex world, I think it's just the mentality. I think, real automation's new. And I keep using the word real because don't misconstrue automation that it just automatically enters the market and exits. There's a lot more to building an automation platform than just making it trade automatically. When we're trading a single instrument, you're susceptible to that instrument's volatility at the time. So when you're trading with a single instrument and you made your daily goal, that's when you want to stop, because none of us know what the volatility is going to be, whether it's going to consolidate for a day, 5 minutes. It's all random data. So we're trading with a rules-based automation against random data that we're seeing minute by minute. So once we hit our goal, we should just be done for the day. When you start to trade throughout the day, or even if those that want to trade and keep positions overnight, that's when you have to start trading with multiple instruments in mind, 2, 3, 4, 5 instruments. For an example, crude, gold, NASDAQ, ES, maybe E6. You trade that through different sessions, through the US session, trade it through the Tokyo session, pre-session London, all the way through London session. When you're trading this way, it's fine, but you have to be diverse as well within your positions. You have to be able to take different positions, different, whether you're trading a trend or whether you're trading a short scalping positions. This is where you're able to keep positions on 24 hours a day, but you have to do it appropriately, not just with one instrument and thinking that you're just gonna, I made a quick 600, let me just keep this on throughout the rest of the day. It's automation. Why doesn't it work? Well, single instrument automation is not designed and engineered to trade that way. If it was, that would be phenomenal, but that's just not the proper way of selling a bot. That's not how you should perceive the bot to trade. And this is like why you and so many others are doing well, is because you're trading with that daily goal. Sometimes your videos are 5 minutes. Sometimes your videos are 45 minutes. Well, you're trading for that goal in mind. And once you start adhering to that, you're going to start seeing your trading just start to really just excel.
No, that's absolutely right. Like some of my videos you've seen, it's like a couple minutes and I'm done. Other times
Right.
but then I get spoiled, right? Because then I'll have to trade for 45 and I'm like, oh man, this took forever. But 45 minutes is not that long, you know?
No. And I don't want to sit here and tout you're only going to, I hate, you see this all the time on YouTube and everyone marketing, oh, you can just trade for 10 minutes a day. Just, you need to run when you hear that type of advice. It's just terrible, right? Everybody wants to hear, I don't want to work and I want to spend money and make money all day. When you hear that from companies or from marketing material, just run. Whether it's $20 or $20,000, you should just run. This is really a bad advice. It's a really bad mindset to teach, or at least it just is. Our bots work phenomenal, but you need to put a little bit of work in. If you know price action is great, and when I say work, you know how it is. When you're trading a single instrument, you need to put a little bit more work in. For our higher end systems, it's obviously a one click of a button, and there's not much work that you have to do. If you have a limited resources and you want to purchase the Algebra Pro, well, you know how well it works. I think you have a few hundred videos now from the beginning, and people can see it right from the beginning of how easy it is to apply the basic rules that we ask you to adhere to, which should be your daily goals. Yeah,
absolutely. And I talk about that every day in my videos. To say, hey, once you get to your goal, be done. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which I think, which again segues to my next question, really, that I wanted you to talk about was kind of the ups and downs of somebody that gets your automation. I mean, I have my own ups and downs, and I think it's evident in the videos that I posted, right, earlier on.
Sure.
Like I wasn't even using the software properly and things like that, and I've learned.
Sure.
But can you talk about some of that? What are some of the ups and downs that one should expect?
Yeah. So that's a really good question. Again, we're just being really transparent here. So, which is the whole point of this video. I believe 99% of the issue, if somebody had an issue. Now, most of our clients, they watch the videos, they listen. There's always that 20% that buy the bot, jump on, and then they go through the rigors of trading, get frustrated, and they go back to the beginning. I don't know if that was you or not, but there's that 20% or so. And all I can say is the best way to do it would be to watch the videos multiple times, not everything in one day, and take your time. And I do have a few videos that are in there where, you just want to learn the nuances of the bot, learn how it trades. Just don't go into simulation. Remember, simulating is simulating how you're supposed to trade live, not simulating to see how you perceive the bot to be. You want to be able to simulate real actions, and you can't simulate real actions unless you actually take your time, run the bot through its paces, whether it be 3, 4, 5 days or 2 weeks. I think you took longer. Most of our successful clients, they take that process and they take it 2, 3 weeks out, and then they just jump, they hit the ground and they run because they have the proper expectations. It's the ones that are trying to cheat that portion of it. They become frustrated, and then they come full circle, and then, I understand now. And then they move forward a lot faster. So if I would ask anybody that purchases, just, slow down a bit. Doesn't matter which bot you purchase, just slow down a bit. There's no rush. There's no rush to make money. The faster that you are to rush the process, the more disappointed you're going to be. And that would be with any product, right? Whether it doesn't have to be trading, it can be with anything. You want to just take your time a little bit, especially when it comes to trading. I mean, trading is very convoluted. It's very technical. It's one of the harder things that we're going to have to do. I believe the bot does about 85% of the heavy lifting. And it's mostly the mindset of how you buy the automation and the mindset of how you go into it. If you go into it thinking, okay, I have a great software tool. Okay, let's just see the nuances. Let's ask a few questions. Let's watch the videos more than a few times. Let's really understand when we're going to trade, how we're going to trade. What's my strategy? what bar sizes do I want to use? Of course, most of these things are given to you, but you still, as a trader, need to feel how it works. You need to understand how it works so you can gain confidence by it.
No, absolutely, and I make that clear in my videos, because when I purchase new automation from TruTrade, a lot of times I'll go live on video, but I
Right.
for the channel. But I tell people, say, hey, don't do this. I'm familiar enough with the software that I can make a go of it on day one. But I always recommend to people, say, hey, until you're consistently hitting your goal in simulation, then you're simulating that you're going to trade in real life, and it should be the same. Nothing's different, right? The only difference is that you're picking a different account in your strategy, and that's it. That's the only difference. That should be right.
It should be, but it's not. You'll have traders that will trade, larger contracts simulated, or they'll trade this way, and that's just not a really good mindset to do. I think when you go into trading, whether in any of our automations, you should start out with simulation. You should always start out with a micro, and you should always go to minis. I don't care if you have an 8-figure account or if you're trading, micros. You should always trade in that way. We always want traders to start slow, and then you can move fast. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. You never want to go backwards. You always want to go forward. That way you keep your mindset positive, and just don't jump right in. For those thinking that it's going to be a quick buck or fast buck, I would stop you from even purchasing at all. Just because, again, we're trying to be transparent. Are the bots amazing? Of course they are. We wouldn't sell them if they wouldn't. Do they allow unskilled traders to make money daily? Of course they do. But you still have to have the mindset from the beginning. And we don't want anyone to think that you can just spend X amount of dollars and quit your job tomorrow. That's just not how we want to have our company perceived. We have amazing software. We have anywhere from software all the way to quantitative networks, where we are very high end. We literally have no limitations when it comes to coding, but we sell products with reservation, and we sell products to where we want clients to have a positive result, not just us selling a product and lining our pockets. We like to sell a product that we believe that a novice or the average person can do very, very well, and have a lot more winning days, losing days. And they can actually go back to your videos or any of our other clients that are on YouTube and go back, and you can see everything there. I mean, it's all there. We try to do our best to show transparency. Of course, you always have those that will always say what they're going to say, and that's okay. Being the industry leader, I believe that we are by far, by a decade. We're always going to take that full frontal assault all the time from those. There's always the negative people out there, and that's okay. But for the ones that jump on board, and for the ones that are purchasing, for the ones that take their time, I think the results speak for themselves.
I would agree. Well, Danny, a lot of great topics. I would love to have you back in the future, and maybe have some follow-up questions as
Sure.
reach out. I would love to have you again. But I think this was very informational, not only for me, but to everyone that's going to watch this video. So I appreciate that. I'll give you the final word. Anything else you'd like to say before we sign off?
No, I just think everyone out there, just do your due diligence and make good decisions on what you purchase. I can tell you from a TruTrade standpoint, that we sell very good automation. Whether you can afford to jump in with 2 feet or not, that's completely up to you. But understand that when you buy our software, you can expect it to do well. It's very, very solid software. We'll take a client from a beginning stage all the way through as we grow the account together. If you want to use a prop funding account, that's great. And if you want to, go from a prop funding to a micro to minis, we have clients that have done that process. They've gone all the way through the process, and now they're trading 10, 15, 20 lots with our larger bots, and that's exactly why we built TruTrade, for that exact reason. The other thing too is try to stay away from listening to the masses. It's going to keep you from making good decisions. Misery loves company, right, Guillermo? Everybody has always something negative to say, and I think the traders out there that really want to see their success and really move forward in their trading industry, or at least maybe move on from the job, or maybe you're ending your career and you're ready to move on to something better. Make your decisions on your own. Don't go online or figure out what other people say. It's going to kind of skew your judgment. Make your own judgment. Talk to one of us, or just watch your channel for a while, or watch our other YouTube channels for a while. We're the only, I believe, the only company in the country or out of this country that has clients that trade live with YouTube. It kind of speaks volumes for that. But nevertheless, take your time, make a good decision. We're a fantastic company to be part of, and if not, just be careful what you buy. Be careful of hearing that you can make money really fast, or be careful of hey, you can make money in 5 or 10 minutes, and all those other schemes to try to extract money from you. I think we're all sick of it. I purchased and spent a ton of money years ago myself. And so again, I understand where all you are coming from, and we definitely don't practice that here at TruTrade.
Fantastic. Well, thank you again, Danny. We
Sure.
look forward to having you again. So
Okay.
until next
Thanks
time.
for having me.
All right.
Take care, bud.
Bye.
Bye-bye.